Gamercast Network.
Hey. All right. It's a video game show. It's a video game show. It's not a game show about videos. It's a video game show.
Welcome to the Gamercast Network Video Game Show, episode number 78 for Sunday, February 24th, 2008. I'm Chad, and this week for the roll call, when I say your name, okay, you're a game developer, and you have to make an evil badass race for your game. Now, your focus group said it should be based on an animal race. So if you had to make an evil race based on an animal species, which animal species would it be? And joining us this evening is Keith.
Bears. Polar bears.
If you want to be creative, you can actually describe how you'd make them evil.
I give them pointed eyebrows. I mean, when you have the eyebrows that are pointed down into the V, doesn't that constitute anger and madness? There we go.
And also joining us this evening is Tom.
Oh, see, I want to say bears too. So in Ohio, we have no bears. It's like I never have to think about it. The very first week I moved to Washington, there was a report that they spotted a bear near a school that I live by. And so now at night, I don't walk near bushes and stuff because I'm worried that
because you're worried a bear is hiding in the bush.
Okay, so bears was taken though.
Well, his bears are evil because they lurk in bushes.
Also joining us is Ivan.
I'd make howler monkeys, and they'd be evil because all they would do was howl at you.
What if they were like catcalling at you because they found you attractive?
Then I'd get some hot monkey lovin'.
Next on the list is Bob.
I would pick cephalopods because there's a little known fact that cephalopods used to be the dominant type of animal on the planet before vertebrates and insects. So there would be an evil cuttlefish named Maury. You know, like how they have like the last 5 seconds of any movie is like as the bad guy goes to push the button? Well, since it's a cuttlefish and he's all slow on land, that part would actually take 20 minutes. And that would be the entire game trying to stop him from pushing the button there. That's my game.
Wait, what exactly is a stephiopod?
No. Cephalopods, like nautiluses and octopuses and squids.
Oh, it's Cthulhu.
Yeah, exactly. Except this one's name is Maury, and he can't float. He just squishes across the land.
You just gotta kill Maury then.
You have 20 minutes before he gets to push the button.
So you can take a break, walk around, shoot some other guys.
That's right, yeah. I mean, it's not much of a rush.
Let's think here now. What would be fun and interesting? Cats. I think cats make a very good, fierce species in the game.
Cats are jerks.
I'm not talking tigers and one. I'm talking domesticated cats.
Right, and I think everybody knows that.
Cats are.
As I said, we need to make them evil in some way. Well, no, they're just by nature evil.
It's funny because, like, if you look at the behavior of, like, a house cat and a tiger, it's really, really similar, except it's cute when it's a 5-pound house cat, but if it's a 400-pound tiger batting at your face...
Oh, so cute, my face!
Oh. Meow! Meow!
I don't think the cat's that cute because the last one I petted dug pretty good into my hand. Almost onto the bone.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Oh, man. When blood was pouring out...
Did you die?
No, I lost my finger.
Your finger's gone.
Yes, it's gone.
That's why it takes him like 8 extra hours to edit the show, because I lost that one finger.
He keeps missing everything that he hits with his left pinky.
I call poppycock on this one.
I call shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Get your brooms.
Okay, yes. Don't broom me, I'm sorry.
This week on the Gamercast Network. Gamertag Radio brings you an episode live from their 3rd year anniversary party, Community Vibes. Hear why Gamertag Radio made history with this event in Miami, Florida. Gears of War 2 is coming, and Paris couldn't be more excited. Find out more about GDC news on this week's Uncle Gamer Radio. Boost your gamer score with the latest tips from Achievement Junkie. Podtacular has the latest and greatest developments from the Halo universe. On Sarcastic Gamer, Doc, Dave, and Lano debate gamer score and what it's done to gaming. Plus a chance to win the Game for Windows title, Age of Empires 3 Gold Edition.
Discover the website that brings you all these great episodes and headlines at GamerCastNetwork.com.
Next topic.
Bob, you were at GDC.
You wouldn't know it by talking to me, but yeah.
You at least walked into it and saw things around.
I was there for a good 6 hours.
First off, GDC is the Game Developers Conference.
Really just a coming together of the industry, more as a recruitment fair than anything. It seems like all of these announcements and everything were just kind of like layered on top of it as the event got more popular. A lot of the booths and things that were there were recruitment, or it's like somebody trying to sell, like Bink Video was there. Here's our newest video compression thing. Look at this. Isn't this awesome? Like I said, it's for the game developers, not really for the general public.
Yet for some reason, Microsoft, Sony, and all the others seem to be insisting on turning GDC into a platform for gaming announcements.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's a trade show. It just doesn't have the hype if you announce things just on a Tuesday in February. You got to do it at something.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the highlight of the thing, which I wrote about in my blog, was they had a pretty decent sized area where the independent game developers, everybody got like a monitor and a PC. It's like, here, go try out our weird ass games.
What was the one that struck you the most?
For live, they have one game coming out called Schizoid. It kind of looks like a 2-player version of Geometry Wars. It's kind of set up the same way. You're just like, 2 ships in space, but it's got this really kind of odd co-op mechanics where the red ship can destroy the enemy red ships by touching them, and the blue ship can destroy the enemy blue ships by touching them. But if you touch an enemy ship of a different color, you die. And they got some very kind of clever setups where you kind of have to switch off and block for each other. Me and Chris sat there and played that game for about, 7 or 8 levels, and it was really a lot of fun, really kind of clever game. So I'd look for that on live. For PC, Crayon Physics Deluxe, kind of a strange puzzle solver game where there's a little ball that can roll on the screen, just kind of starts on a platform somewhere, and then there'll be like stuff in the way and a target on the other side of the board, and you manipulate this ball and push it around by drawing like simple levers and ramps and things to push the ball around.
Basically, wherever you draw, the real physics take over once you're done drawing it. What if I draw an Escher picture?
It would probably just fall on the ground and sit there.
I was going to say, if I draw Jesus, it's going to just go nuts and just can't handle it.
Sounds like
they're really kind of
for the DS.
It looks like it would be, but there's currently for the PC. There are a couple other ones. Go check out the blog that I have. I kind of stayed away from all the bigger displays and everything, so I figured that'd be done to death. I didn't think anything clever to say to the Hellgate London people.
You should have had like your Hellgate London box and a receipt and just dropped it off.
Yeah, can I do this here? I don't want this anymore.
How was the aroma?
It was surprisingly non-existent.
Really?
It was about maybe 25% gamers, I would say.
This wasn't open to the public.
No, you had to get a pass. And
So then we can safely associate that public equals stink.
I think so.
I tried to explain to somebody this week the stink at a Magic the Gathering tournament because someone was saying like 2 weekends ago he went to a qualifying tournament for the World Series of Poker, and he was talking about just some of the low-class people who were at the tournament. And I tried to explain to him what a Magic the Gathering tournament was like. And then he said,
stench is a tangible fall.
I set my cards on it as I'm waiting to shuffle them.
Next topic.
Infinity Interactive announced the next game in the Puzzle Quest series, which is called Galactrix. Okay, the first thing here is Galactrix was being developed alongside with Puzzle Quest. It never really was meant to be part of the Puzzle Quest thing. It's just that when Puzzle Quest took off, D3, the publisher, said, we got some brand recognition now with Puzzle Quest. Let's just slap the Puzzle Quest name on Galactrix when we sell it. So Galactrix is still the same idea. It's still a puzzle game, except now you're in a sci-fi universe, and instead of having a character, you have a ship which you upgrade. And then when you do your fights are still match tiles and whatnot, but it's now a 6-sided hexagon grid, and all the tiles are hexagon based. As you clear, depending on where you fight, if you fight in orbit or if you fight on a planet, the tiles move differently when you clear them out. So if you're on a planet, they all move downward because of gravity, but if you're in space, they move the direction of momentum from however you move the tiles around.
Puzzle Quest in space.
Yeah, that's basically what it sounds like.
I'm kind of looking at this and it's like, has this been done to death though? When you buy Puzzle Quest, you play it until you can't stand to look at it anymore because that's kind of the nature of the game. And so I'm curious if that'll hurt or help when it's just like, oh God, do I really want to put myself through this again? That kind of deal.
Yeah, and it looks like they switched gameplay mechanics from Bejeweled to Hexic. It's almost like you have to rotate tiles to match them as opposed to moving them up or down, left or right. Looking at that one screenshot, it looks like a Hexic board, which isn't a bad thing.
If it was the same thing, would you want to play it again?
Guess I don't have a problem with them using the Puzzle Quest brand name. Puzzle Quest is kind of generic, and it might actually generate some more sales like they are hoping for. But if it was regular Puzzle Quest just in space, yeah, I would really have no interest in trying that. I might actually get this now, based on the fact that it is Hexic instead of Bejeweled. And the reason is because I found that I liked Hexic, but I felt like it was missing something. I feel the same way about Bejeweled, and that's that you're matching gems just to kind of clear them with no real goal other than getting enough matches so that you go to the next level. Hexic was exactly like that. There was really no point to the game. So if this is a Hexic gameplay with stuff to do, like defeat an opponent or something, I think this might actually be kind of fun. I kind of like the point of having a point to clearing boards.
It's always fun to have a point.
Well, we never do.
Next topic.
It's always fun to have a point. Otherwise, you just wander aimlessly and go play World of Warcraft for no reason at all, because World of Warcraft never ends. Why do people play that damn game? Sorry.
I'm open for suggestions.
Here is your suggestion coming out in 2009 as Champions.
Yeah, if that ever happens, that would be sweet.
But again, you can't hold your breath and hope that that's going to...
We've been burned too many times. We know 1997 2D side-scroller version was supposed to come out and just...
Okay, so Champions is the new game from Cryptic Studios. These were the guys that made City of Heroes, City of Villains, and actually, these are the guys that were doing the Marvel MMO, the one that was taken away.
They specialize in the superhero genre.
They like making them superheroes. Now, this new game is Champions Online, which is based on the Champions pen and paper game, which is the one that you and Keith, I know, like, correct?
This is an old pen and paper role-playing game. We played this all through high school and well into college. The thing about Champions is it's probably the most balanced rule system and most open-ended rule system you could possibly ever want. You don't buy like the fireball spell when I level. You get just points and you purchase very kind of generically named powers. Like, I'm going to buy an attack that kills from far away. It's just called ranged killing attack, and however many dice of that you want. And the thing about the game is then you just choose how it shows up in the game. You pick your special effects. So if like I want a fireball, I'm going to buy this ranged killing attack. Say it's fire. When it hits, it does fire damage, and you can get modifiers on powers. So in the case of a fireball, you'd say when it hits its target, it explodes and stuff around it takes damage. But that costs more points than just buying an attack that hits a single target. This
pretty much, if you can think of it, you can make it.
The entire time we were playing, I never once thought of a guy that you couldn't make. So when this comes out, the promise is that it will be completely classless, and you will just be able to invent whatever kind of character you want, and your appearance and your special effects and your powers are totally up to you as long as you're within the bounds of this rule system.
They're making Champions Online as an MMO, and it's going to be for the PC and 360. It's going to be a console MMO as well.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, it's supposed to be a faster-paced game, correct?
Yes. There's an article about this in the recent Game Informer magazine, and when they were describing the combat, the guy said it plays a lot like Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
That would be awesome. That was the only thing I really kind of didn't like about Marvel Alliance is like you're kind of stuck with what they give you, which is fine as long as, you know, your guy is available. And by my guy, I mean as long as I can play Blade right off, which I couldn't, and that kind of pissed me off. But, you know.
Blade?
I like Blade.
Blade's gonna cut you.
He's gonna cut you.
I like the other part of this Champions thing was that they're going to let you make your own arch enemy. You get to make your own backstory and everything.
That was a really neat idea. I'm curious how that's going to show up in the game. And how great would that be if you're in a group in an instance and all of a sudden, like, you know, Mr. Meathead, my arch enemy, shows up with this giant meathead and everybody's like, who the hell is that?
You know what, though? You're going to get, like, stupid Patty Lumpkins who's covered in moles. Squirts pus on you or something.
It would be funny if when you said moles, you meant these small mammals.
Small furry creatures. Yeah, it has potential to be cool, but I think for the most part it's just going to be kind of dumb.
Right, but how good would it be if you actually, you know, you took the time to make a good archenemy and scared the crap out of people you didn't know when, like, you know, some random mob shows up and he's got, like, you know, something's on fire. He's got bat wings. He's totally black and his eyes are glowing purple and he's got a gigantic axe.
Sounds very demonic. I'll put this request in then for the demon MMOs.
Thank you. I'd appreciate that.
That'd be a sweet MMO. You're just a demon. You have to go corrupt souls.
Yeah. Corrupting souls.
Somehow make an extension to Second Life where you can just walk around as a demon trying to take their souls.
Boy.
Pretty much sure that's what the entire game is. It's run by Satan.
That's the meta game that Linden Labs plays. They have a little score sheet in the office.
How many souls we've corrupted.
Next topic.
So you don't think microtransactions will ever do well on the PC?
I've learned to stop predicting what the kids are going to do. I think guys like me who started playing PC games with the rise of Doom 2, I think we're definitely set in our ways now, but I've stopped trying to predict what the kids are going to do.
Well, here's the new thing. This story kind of slipped under the radar. I haven't heard many sites pick up on it. It was announced last week, so we all know Gamespy.
The company everyone hates because supposedly they add value somehow to titles, and all these games come with powered by Gamespy in the bottom right corner, but you never really know what that means actually.
Well, here's their newest thing, a service called Direct2Game. This is something that developers can add into their games, where in the game, the publishers can now add additional content for cost, for money, for microtransactions, basically. You know how in like a Xbox Live game, you can pop up your little Xbox Live marketplace and see what additional content there is for the game you're playing and the point value and have one all nice integrated system to download it? Well, now this Direct2Game thing is something exactly like that for PC games.
You have to assume that eventually both Games for Windows and Steam are going to have a similar service. If you're a studio right now and you're setting out to build a brand new game, you have a lot of options now on what kind of third-party infrastructure you want to build your game on top of. You know, are you going to go with Games for Windows? Are you going to go with Steam? Or are you going to go with Gamespy? I'm telling you, Gamespy is the first one I'm throwing out the window.
Okay, so say this one does die. When Steam brings out whatever they're going to do, or when Games for Windows brings out whatever they're going to do, you think people will start paying up for things that they normally had not paid for?
I don't know, but I'll still feel better about it only because Valve has built themselves a track record of trust, whereas Gamespy has a track record of what? What exactly does Gamespy provide to these studios? It's still such an open, nebulous thing. I don't know what it means when it says powered by Gamespy. I never install their software. Who installs the stupid Gamespy ping tool? Piece of bloatware spyware that tries to put its roots deep into Windows where you can't uninstall it.
That kid, that's who installs it. Somebody sent this out at work.
I don't want to play over the audio. What is it?
Just some little 14-year-old that I'm sure we've all played Halo with.
Yeah.
And you want to know who's paying for your microtransactions? That kid. And the millions like him.
That kid. Such disdain in our voice.
Dude. He needs to be killed.
Don't be violent. He doesn't need to be killed because we don't want the cops busting down our doors.
Oh no,
right.
he needs to die.
But I understand that Gamespy needs to try to keep itself relevant. If all they're providing is a browser search tool, I mean, Steam already provides a great browser search tool, so I don't need that. What relevance does Gamespy have? Really none.
They're clutching at straws. Give them a chance. You know, you gotta feed them something, otherwise they're just gonna die.
And then the world will be better.
We're all about death today.
I've just always been about death. I'm pretty pro-death.
Turns out I've been dead for quite some time.
Next topic.
Okay, in Louisiana, there was a woman. She was sleeping and she got a phone call in the middle of the night. The guy on the other end of the line just basically said, "I killed them all." And she was kind of taken aback because she didn't know who the hell she was talking to. And the guy said, "Oops, wrong number," and hung up. Basically, she had caller ID, and she called the police to tell the police that someone called up and said, "I killed them all." When the police got the number and went over to the person's house, they found that the person who had misdialed, he was trying to actually call a friend and brag about his Xbox Live match he had just done, was in some like Halo or Gears of War game. He was basically trying to say, "I killed them all" in that game, not, killed them all.
Not literally killed them all.
Yes. And, well, the thing is, unfortunately, because of his misdialing and saying all that, I guess apparently he had a warrant out for his arrest many years in the past. When they looked up his name and said, "Oh, look, there's this cocaine arrest you had 5 years ago, which you skipped out on the trial for. Huh, I guess we're going to arrest you now."
Because you're a dumbass.
Yes. So if you have warrants out for your arrest, don't misdial.
Isn't everything pre-programmed so that all you have to do is go to Bob and hit send? It's kind of a blessing and a curse. It means you don't have to dial anymore, but it also means I have no capacity for phone numbers. Like, I couldn't tell you what my girlfriend's phone number is. I have no idea.
It's 440-359.
I can't remember the last time I dialed a number, unless it was for a number that I haven't already stored in my phone.
Really sucks though when you drop your phone in the toilet and it doesn't work for like a week.
Wow, you dropped your phone in a... Oh, I don't even want to know.
Actually, it worked out well because it was clean.
Oh no, it's not.
Debatable.
No.
Good enough for the dog to drink out of. It's good enough for your phone.
It's good enough to put on your face.
Remind me to never borrow Keith's phone.
Oh no.
Actually, what kind of phone was it?
It was the old silver one I had. I dropped in the toilet before and been without it.
It never told any of us. The number of times I've used that phone. Oh God. Oh
I have
God.
the black one, which is toilet free so far.
Not for long. It hungers for more.
Next topic.
Let's hear about how your tax dollars are being spent in a new project that the government is taking upon themselves right now. This is going to be called the Reynard Project. They want to identify social, behavioral, and cultural norms in virtual worlds and gaming environments. Why are they doing this? Well, because they feel that World of Warcraft and Second Life, these online virtual worlds, are becoming places where extremists can congregate.
Can you imagine if you're walking around a world and then you come up with like a group of other players, so you go into the middle of them and they're all,
Durka
Muhammad Jihad. Yeah.
I also love how that's universal for terrorist talk now.
I speak terrorist. Durka Mohammed Jihad. Durka. Do they have something like how they decided that these were havens for terrorists? Like, we captured these guys using World of Warcraft to, coordinate attacks because they have, 3 different clusters across the country, and it was the best way to do, conference chatting or whatever.
Isn't there, all these underground IRC servers that are everywhere? I mean...
Yeah, exactly. That's probably more of a safe haven than anything, because very few people understand IRC because it's so much of a pain in the ass to get it to function. Wow, Keith, you think you had problems fishing before? Oh my God, I'm not a terrorist! I'm sitting here trying to fish. Will you leave me the hell alone?
No, that'd be funny now if you need a virtual passport. Like you log into World of Warcraft, you have to flash your passport.
That would be horrible.
You hand out virtual green cards to the Chinese MMO players.
Are you working in Warcraft? Yes, mining gold. Okay, well, this is approved for the next 2 months then.
No, you laugh, but there was a story. I remember IBM wanted to, not for World of Warcraft, but for all the virtual worlds like Second Life and Entropia Universe, a single system where you could have your one avatar go from world to world. Use the same avatar in Second Life as in Entropia, as in blah, 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 blah.
Good idea. Pulling your guy from City of Heroes and just dump him into World of Warcraft. Well, balance problems.
That'd be cool, though. Come on.
I would love to bring the Crisis Marine with his suit that could choke people out to World of Warcraft.
So you could choke out the emo kids playing WoW, huh?
Exactly.
Getting the emo kid, he's protecting Azeroth from terrorists. That alliance is an enemy of freedom.
You know what's funny about all this worldwide terrorism, though, is it makes Cobra not seem completely unrealistic. Just.
Al-Qaeda gives credence to Cobra.
I wouldn't mind having terrorists out there if they were like Cobra Commander or Destro. Wouldn't it be sweet to have them come over the airwaves every once in a while?
You know what? I gotta say, I don't think it'd be sweet for any terrorist to come over the airwaves and say how I'm going to be their pawn. I don't care even if he is Destro with a silver face.
It's Cobra Commander and Destro. They never actually were very good at being terrorists. Now, come on.
Well, they always were terrorists for really stupid. Come over the radio and be like, "Bring us the relics of Tutankhamun, or your dam will be destroyed." Like, dude, what the hell are you gonna do with that? It might have magic in it.
Probably not, though.
Just saying.
Next topic.
We all know the Japanese are much into games for the DS that are not really games.
I was going to say tentacle porn.
Not really games so much as tentacle porn.
I still gotta say, in all honesty, I don't get the tentacle porn, but...
Dude, you're not Japanese. Do not pretend to understand their ways. Do not pretend to buy 14-year-old girls dirty underpants out of a vending machine. How can you ever attempt to understand a people such as that?
That's a good point.
Well, we all know that for the DS in Japan, there are many games which we would not consider games. They're educational, like learning how to write kanji, Japanese language for kids and that kind of stuff. Sega wants to bring out a new version of House of the Dead for the DS that is going to help teach English. This is going to be called English of the Dead, Reanimation of English Skills Zombie Style.
It's just like,
Wait. Is it just Old English? Hawk, thou dost see.
No. What this is in the game, the zombies come at you. Next to them is a word in Japanese, and you have to write out the English equivalent to kill them. And then once you write out the correct word, the zombie crumples to the ground and dies.
It'd be funnier, instead of a zombie attacking you, it'd be a fat American who wants to eat you.
I think he's a cheeseburger. Just like stumbling towards him. And they give the kanji for fat ass, and you have to quickly spell it out.
Yes, so now once you write the correct word, the zombie crumples to the ground, and as he's crumpling to the ground, he says the word in English to help reinforce that.
Zombie. Responsible. Wait, did that zombie just say responsible as it crumbled to the ground?
Embassy. Bunch of Japanese that talk like zombies, dude. How great would that be? Need directions to airport.
Looking for brains. They keep saying brains. I don't understand.
It'd be like telegrams, except instead of like, stop, it'd be brains. Brains. Need to find embassy. Brains.
Oh, speaking of the Japanese, remember a long time ago, we talked about cowboy hat girl, bikini clad girl.
Yeah, the
Yes.
vampire zombie slayer with her sword that got dull.
Wait, I've played a game like that on like the PS2. That was a girl in a bikini with fighting zombies.
Yes, there was a one Shibara.
Yeah. I played that. That's pretty good.
Why am I not surprised you can play that?
No, I didn't have it. My old roommates, they had
Totally my cousin, this guy I know, he totally had it.
You talked about the story a long time ago. The story was, this was a game called One Shibara Vortex, where you played as a girl who was bikini clad wearing a cowboy hat that had to go take out zombies. And as you got more blood on you, you went into a rage. So the Japanese are now making a movie. Actually, they've made a movie based on this game. So you actually played One Shibara, Tom?
I did.
Okay, was it at all good?
Well, it was good in like a novelty kind of way. It's like, I'm this anime girl in a bikini, hitting zombies. But you just kind of repeat that same formula for each level.
Again, I don't think those words would ever leave my mouth. I'm a bikini-clad zombie-slaying Asian girl.
There were cutscenes, there was some kind of story, but,
Her boobs kept distracting me from the words that were going across the screen.
But her boobs were distracting me from the words that were going across the screen.
Next topic.
Mailbag.
Hi guys. First, thanks to everybody who donated money and games to my nephew. His collection is getting back to where it was. This was a guy on our forums. Zard. Forum people helped him out because his little cousin, I believe, had lost things in a fire. In games such as Oblivion, is it wrong to hack your character to make it fit in with what you're meant to be role-playing? Example, my Khajiit thief would already have a high lock-picking skill by the time he reaches his late 20s. By his mid-30s, he'd have learned how to cast lock-picking skills, as well as remote manipulation. So if I start playing him as a 40-something, is it wrong for me to hack the game to give him these abilities? What about if you've lost game saves like Ivan has, or because your old PC died before you could transfer the save game files?
It's a slippery slope. That's what we say about any
type of trainer.
It's a slippery slope.
It's not as fun after you do it.
No, it's not. In a Titan Quest, when you do that, you always have the best intentions. Like, oh, I lost this guy, deleted the profile on accident. I'm just going to use this hacking tool to get him back to exactly where he was, and that's all I'm going to do. Well, yeah.
And you tend to forget exactly where he was and say, oh, well, his strength was like this, maybe.
Not even that. Even if you do that, then you're like, oh, this was so easy. You know what? I want to try a Berserker Warrior now, but, I don't want to spend the 20 levels to see how much I like him. So I'm just going to use this hacking tool to get him up to level 20.
Just to see. I'm just gonna see real quick. Yeah. And then by the end of the day, you're level 50 with all the Pimpus gear in the game. Because that's how it happened.
And then you're like, wow, this is really boring now.
Exactly.
Like, what's the point of playing if I can't get any new gear? And
even for me, who lost the save games, it would have been worse if I hadn't essentially been finished with the game. Like, if I was 2 levels away from finishing the game, then that would be one thing, but I'll get over it. I have gotten over it.
Now you're playing WoW where you can't actually hack anything. Or to hack would be to hire some little Chinese kid to get your gear for you.
Right.
Go, Chinese kid, go.
The next question here. So, a couple episodes ago, we answered a question from Ted from England. He was thinking about buying an Xbox 360. He wanted to know what games he should buy. He's thanking us now for giving him advice. and he's got a question he can't find the answer to. Apparently, he found out about BlizzardCon 07 and how good it was, and he wants to know where BlizzCon 08 is going to be and when. So apparently we're becoming the Google again.
But it's so much more effort to download a podcast, then wait a week, and then you have to email the person and hope they answer you when you could just Google BlizzCon 08.
Yeah, and if he would Google BlizzCon 08, he would find that they actually have not announced it yet. And I don't know, Tom, is BlizzCon a thing to do every year, or is it just every so often?
I have no idea. Let me Google it.
Oh, there you go. Go check me.
I'll tell you in a second.
I checked over the Blizzard site, and everyone was unsure if Blizzard was going to have an 08 because they weren't sure if it was a yearly thing that Blizzard does.
It's like their games when they have everything perfect and then they'll announce it.
Hey guys, love the show. In fact, I've been listening for so long that I can safely say ham sandwiches to you all. I was wondering why you do not have any pictures of you on the website nor any host bios.
You're not worth looking at nor knowing about. There.
And if you actually did listen to the show long enough, you know that you can't give us ham sandwiches.
No, that's not true. We're not allowed to give ourselves ham sandwiches.
No, that's a corollary to the rule. You're not allowed to have any at all. Sorry. No virtual ham
And
sandwiches.
most of our blogs actually have some sort of information about us.
Bob, you used to have a whole bio thing with us.
Yeah, Bob used to be the maintainer of the bios, but those are the bad old evil days, and those are behind us.
And there were sweatpants involved. We try not to think about it.
Exactly. If you've been listening to the show long enough, you know what that reference is.
And that was Video Game Show episode number 78 for Sunday, February 24th, 2008. Any ham sandwiches or Share Dream Pies? Give them now. Share Dream Pie to Warcraft for killing my co-hosts.
We're done because I have 5 more levels before I can get to be a cheetah.
I gotta go to the grocery store and I'm hungry as hell. Can I leave?
Oh, God.
I just broke Chad's will to live. I give a ham sandwich to the creators of the Misadventures of PB Winterbottom, which is my vote for weirdest game of the Games Developers Conference at www.winterbottomgame.com. When the guy was describing the game, he actually said, "Oh, well, it's basically a temporal vortex where the object is to get pie."
What?
And, exactly.
Ham sandwich to Godfrey for 3 years of Gamertag Radio.
Quick reminder about our Peggle PopCap giveaway. Don't forget to send us your made-up Peggle level or character to be entered in the contest. I'll put a reminder on the Video Game Show website. And as always, send your comments, questions, queries, or concerns to the mailbag at videogameshow.org, Skype us at videogameshow, or call us at 320-300-GAME. That is a standard long-distance call, and all normal fees apply. And that's a wrap. Good night.
I just found something funny. It has its own Wikipedia entry.
Yeah. Tentacle rape in Wikipedia.
That goes back to the 1820s? Wow.
Wow.
That is deeply rooted in their culture.
The Dream of the Fisherman's Wife, an 1820 Hokusai woodcutting depicting a woman engaging in sex with a pair of octopuses.
Yeah, there it is, right there on Wikipedia.
Oh, tentacle rape is deep in the culture of the Asian.
It is a celebrated example of shunga and has been reworked by a number of artists. Of course.
You know what this calls for? A Google image search.
No, it doesn't.